the NFL because we have a topic that we want to talk about. So this topic will be on just the Chicago Bears season. Obviously, Chicago Bears been getting a lot of hype here this year, and deservingly so. They have had number one overall pick. They have Caleb Williams, and they have a lot of talent on their team. So I wanted to propose the question: a what if scenario. What if the Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl? And that's it.
Are we talking this year or are we talking
This year, this year. If the Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl, or can they win the Super Bowl this year?
no?
Maybe a better question.
No, they can't win the Super Bowl this year. They're a fringe playoff team.
So NFL schedule has not been released yet, but these are the teams
We
that
know the
the
teams that they will play. We just don't
yeah
know the
yeah
order.
yeah yeah.
Run
So
it.
they're going to be playing the NFC East and then the AFC North this year. And oh wait, sorry, 2024. I'm sorry, my bad. My apologies. My apologies. Wrong one. Excuse me. So they'll be playing the AFC South, and they will be playing the NFC West. It looks like yes. So here's my thinking for them. I think that they can personally. And here's my reasoning behind it. Now I'm not saying that I'm not even going to talk about, they can't. I think they can. And here's the reason why. I think that this team is good enough just without Caleb Williams. This team won 7 games last year. And they lost a lot of one possession games last year. I think you may have to fact check me, but I was looking it up yesterday. I don't have it up in front of me, but I believe that they lost 3 or 4 one possession games last year, and they lost 10 games. So they finished 7-10 last year, and a lot of that honestly is on coaching, just from their games, just from recent memory, and I kind of referenced it in previous episodes of the podcast, but a lot of their losses came at the helm of just their coach not trusting the quarterback, and that's just automatically fact. You have a quarterback that you trust now, a
Mhm.
quarterback that has proven that, hey, well, has proven it collegiately that, hey, I can, convert third down, I can convert forward downs, I can make it so we don't even need a third or forward down. And then you have the offense surrounding him, as well as the defense with a good foundation. They have all the recipes to compete for a Super Bowl, and they have all the opportunity. They have all the pretty much. I'm just saying this: if they had Caleb Williams last year, they would have for sure been in the playoffs, and that's without DeAndre Swift, without Keenan Allen, without all these other high level players that they brought in. Without Caleb Williams, with Caleb Williams this year, they're a playoff team. So you mean to tell me that they can't win 3 or 4 playoff games inside, especially if they get one in Chicago? You mean to tell me that they cannot win? They can't outplay Green Bay. They can't play. They can't outplay the Lions. They can't outplay the Niners. They can't outplay the Eagles. You're telling me that they can't do that? Because I believe they can.
I mean, I was wrong last year about the Texans about how good a rookie quarterback could be. So if I'm doubling down, I'm doubling down. Caleb Williams is not going to be CJ Stroud. Like that. See, we can't have all these rookie quarterbacks come in and play better than all these like NFL quarterbacks have been around for heck 2-3 years, let alone these 5+ year starters. No, no, I can't do it. If this happens again, we might have to get rid of the college football 3 years thing. Like we might have to do it, Joseph. We might have to. But I can't. These kids can't come in and from day one be playoff teams. I
I mean,
just can't.
I
I
mean,
get that it's a
but
different situation because they're a 7-win team, but still,
can I
like,
can I say something?
go ahead, please,
Because
because
because before the Magic game came on, the Niners and the Packer game was on from the divisional round, and uh, the last play of the game came up. Jordan Love threw across his body an interception, and I'm just thinking, I'm just like, before that play, they had just converted a third and short.
Oh, a huge play.
And like you just throw that ball. I
He was
guarantee
feeling
that Jordan
himself.
Love wishes that he could like take
He was
that
feeling
back.
himself.
So like the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying now is because I've seen so much recently that like especially in the NFC, not so much in the AFC, but in the NFC, there is a lot of teams that shoot themselves in the foot, especially with coaching, that I believe that given the right situation in the right scenarios, that Caleb Williams can lead his team down, being down 21-24 to the Niners in the NFC divisional round. And he'll be able to achieve that drive. Because you can't tell me that Jordan Love at 22 would even be in that predicament. But I wouldn't bet against Caleb Williams being in that predicament
But if you
at
got the
his age.
Bears, if you got okay in this world where the Bears went to the Super Bowl, do you know how many coaches would be fired? Because
I
you got to
mean,
imagine.
for
No,
sure
no,
the Lions. Mac. Okay, do you think
so,
Dan Campbell? Let's do this. Let's just talk about division rounds. Let's talk
okay,
about the division for a second.
so the
Go ahead
Bears.
though.
So we're saying let's start the division first, right?
So
Let's
yes, so the Bears make the yeah. The Bears. Let's say the Bears go 12-5, right? Lions go 11-6, make the playoffs. Vikings go 7-10. Packers go let's say 9-8. They kind of look, kind of like, revert back to just being a little bit over 500, right?
happening.
I can see
Okay.
that. I mean, I'm just throwing the numbers.
Okay, no,
Obviously,
no, no.
these are not my predictions.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying
no,
this is
no.
a what if scenario. Okay, we got nothing to talk about. This is a what
LaFleur,
if scenario.
I'm saying LaFleur's fired.
LaFleur. You're saying LaFleur's fired if they go 9-8? I don't think so. Packers don't fire coaches like that.
Last in the division,
They'll be 9-8. Vikings will be last in the division. Vikings will
you're
be.
probably
They're
gonna
seven and
sweat
ten.
by. Oh, the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings will fire their guy.
I don't think so either.
Not with Darnold
I
starting.
don't think Dan Campbell gets fired either.
I think Dan Campbell. I'll say this, Joseph.
They go 11-6 and make the playoffs. Be a wild card team.
They might start to look for the next thing.
Do you think they're a coach away, or are the Lions a coach away from? Because last year, I mean, they were up. I think 17 against the Niners.
He can't win the if he can't win the division when you have a rookie
Two rookie
quarterback,
quarterbacks.
Sam Darnold. I'm giving Darnold a start for the
Okay.
Vikings. And then Jordan Love in his second year as a full starter. I think they would have a. That's what I'm asking you. If the Bears do this, I think there's a conversation to be had where he's fired and their offensive coordinator is promoted to the head coach.
No, I mean, just looking at it like that from that angle, yes, I can definitely see that. But I just
They make the
I
playoffs,
don't
maybe he's safe.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know if the Lions would
Oh,
fire Campbell if they make the playoffs and let's say they lose in the first round.
let's say they make wild card in this scenario.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Okay, so that way
They,
he keeps his job for you.
I mean, no. No, I'm leaning more towards what you're saying because like I'm saying like if the Lions make the wild card, they lose in the first round, let's say to the Bears, right? Or
Oh, there you go. I like
yeah,
it.
something like that, right? Like then you're all like, okay, first question is gonna be, okay, is Jared Goff good enough? Like that's
Yeah,
gonna be the first question. It'd be
yeah.
before Dan Campbell even comes across
We're gonna hear
your
Hendon
name.
Hooker conversations.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker,
Yeah,
and then
or draft.
let's talk about Tua,
Yeah,
Trevor
hot name.
Lawrence, all these
Yeah,
free agents coming out saying like, hey, are these guys going to be good enough? And then you'll have a scenario where they'll be like, well, like, hey, what if it was what if it was an aggressive play call and they needed a 2-point conversion. I mean, they needed a field goal to take the game into overtime and they go for 2-point conversion instead, and they don't convert like they did against the Cowboys last year. And that lost the Lions the number 1 seed. They would have been number 1 seed if they would have beat the Cowboys that year. I mean last year. So they were like, okay, this is 2 years in a row where you've cost us games and you've cost
yeah.
us some type of seeding. You're just like, hey man, you're not good enough to coach here. Take that to New Orleans or take that to where the risk is not it can't be had. So from that angle, I can agree with what you're saying in terms of if the Bears win this division. Okay, you're saying hey, you guys already didn't win a division. Now you guys lost to us. Now we lost to the Bears. who they just drafted their franchise leading quarterback, and all we have is Jared Goff and you, and is that good enough? So
All right, so the Bears beat the Lions. Lions have this conversation about the coaching fired. Who do they play the next round that they're beating?
I would probably say it depends because
I'm gonna have the Niners in the NFC Championship game.
yeah. Same me. So I'm saying honestly,
Eagles.
I would say Eagles are a surprise team. Honestly, that I think may shock some people. And I wanted to get to this later on down the road, like just topic wise. But I think the Commanders can make a playoff run.
Let's not go too crazy. Let's just go
Yeah,
low right now. So let's go Eagles.
but let's just go like favorite wise. They would play the Eagles, and they would go to Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
So we're in this scenario. They're going to Super Bowl, so
We're saying what if? Yeah.
they gotta win. And I'm telling you, this is a second coach that's fired.
So you're saying Sirianni is fired? Like, how do we lose to the freaking Bears?
Yeah, you can't lose to a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
You
So they
can't.
go to the next. So they go to the next round. So they
They
go
need
to the,
for him to have a job, Joseph. He's gonna have to lose to McVay or Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Like that's about it.
Oh, they probably play the Rams. Honestly, I think the Rams might be pretty good this year too.
Okay, let's
I
do the
forgot.
Rams.
Let's do the Rams. Let's do the
The
Rams.
Rams. Yeah.
So yeah, because I think the Eagles. I think that ship is sinking already, and that's why I was just like, I don't know I don't know to be in the playoffs. Okay, let's do the Rams. Stafford wants a big time contract, right? And maybe the Rams. And this is what if scenario. The Rams are like, hey, we're not paying you until next offseason, right? Even though they may pay him this offseason before the season starts, right? But they're not paying them until the season starts, right? Or until after the season, right? So McVay, Stafford, McVay's already been talking about going to Amazon, turning down, millions of dollars, hundreds, tens of millions of dollars on Amazon. Stafford talks about like, hey, I want a contract extension. I got you guys a ring. Cup is all like, hey, what about me? I want a contract extension too because, well, I'm Cooper Cup, and then you got other guys on the defensive end that are gonna want to get paid and whatnot. I think if the Rams lose to the Bears, I feel like that's more of a ship is sunk than anything. Like McVay's gone. McVay's gone. McVay's all like, no, he's like, because he's gonna want to he's gonna be so like he's like, okay, I need a young guy. I need a young guy like Caleb Williams. You don't think that's gonna be in his brain, like Stafford not being good enough?
See how crazy this is? Like if that happens, McVay probably I don't know. I could see a world where he goes to Amazon or something, like leaving. Or just, going to another team. But I think he's I don't see him. I don't see McVay with another team. I think he's set for.
Yeah, I think he would retire if he leaves. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if they lose to the Bears in the second round, McVay kind of like a last dance scenario where like McVay's like in his head, he's like, hey, if I don't win a Super Bowl this year, or even if I do win a Super Bowl this year, like I'm out of here. Like I'm done. Like I don't want to coach anymore. Obviously, he signed an extension. I think a few years back that keeps him there to like 2027. So this is a what if scenario. But in hindsight, like he'd be like, you know what? Do I really need to stay for another 3 years? I mean, I've won a Super Bowl, youngest coach to do it, to coach. Like I
quarterback situation. He might stay
yeah.
with the quarterback gone, or he might leave.
Yeah, exactly. So, or on the other side, like, what if Stafford, doesn't perform to the level that he's, expected to perform at? And that's unlikely to happen, but it's a scenario that could happen because we've seen it, where quarterbacks are good one year and they're not the next, especially older quarterbacks. So, I don't know. That's just my thoughts, and then I think like, hey, like Stafford might be like Brett Favre. I remember Brett Favre, he was just like the Brett Favre QB carousel. He was like going to New York, then he would go to
I can see Stafford
Minnesota, like retiring, then coming back. It's just these are scenarios where I'm just like, I could see if the Bears do make it to the Super Bowl and win it, it changes a lot in the NFL. And then don't think the Chiefs are out. Don't think the Chiefs are off the hook here, Zachary. I thought of this scenario, and I thought it was
No,
getting
no,
past the Niners,
I'm not going to the
but
AFC. We're still in the NFC. You're
no.
saying
I'm just saying because I want you to keep that in the back of your head. All right, so let's go this. Let's do this. Bills make it.
I still want to
Did it?
know.
Okay,
I'm
go
not done
ahead.
yet.
Okay.
So we're still doing divisional matchups here. Okay. So remember, we both agree they're waiting. The San Francisco Niners are waiting for the title game, so they're not
Okay.
complete. The Dallas the Dallas Cowboys, if
Oh gosh,
they play in this round, that would have meant that they won a playoff game. Keep this in mind.
the Cowboys.
Cowboys, if they play,
Okay.
yeah, one wild card weekend.
Okay.
So would they fire their coach?
I think they're. I think everybody's gone regardless. I think this is just like
Is that Dak too?
yes. I think everybody's gone.
Wow.
They didn't re up on McCarthy's contract. They didn't re up on
That's a question.
Dak Prescott contract.
How come they didn't trade Dak in the draft?
You talking about this year?
Yeah.
Does anybody want a $45 million quarterback who
And why didn't
is
the
average?
Commanders? Maybe the Commanders
Yeah, but
send like
they
1.2
probably.
for it.
I mean, would
Trade.
you? I mean, come on, be honest. If you're the Commanders, who'd you rather have? Jaden Daniels or
I know who
Dak
I'd rather
Prescott?
have. I know who I'd rather have, but I'm thinking
Adam
this.
Peters is the same way, Zachary.
He
Adam
just took
Peters is the same way.
coordinator,
Best believe,
Cowboys, and he's like, "Hey, I can win with this guy. I know this guy." Like,
best believe, Dan Smith was like, "Hey, like, what about Dak? I think he's available." Adam Peters probably laughed in his face, like, "Dude, like, just get on the sidelines." Or
okay,
Dan Quinn, sorry.
what about the Buccaneers?
What about him? Like them playing the Bears in the playoffs?
The
Like, what
Bears,
happens?
yeah,
I mean, the Bears are kind of stuck with Baker for the next 2 seasons, at least,
but their
right?
coach, they fire Bowles.
I, See, you're giving me teams that have already like to me. I have the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, and some other teams in that mix, but
Cool.
these teams already have a destiny set for them. I think,
But you see,
like no
like
matter what
Bears,
happens.
Bears do this. Like half the NFC coaching jobs are going to be up for grabs.
But why do you think that is? Because they're losing the rookie quarterbacks, or is just because like, hey, like, okay, you guys can't beat the Bears, and like we can't beat nobody.
They're not gonna. The NFL is not going to um let that. I don't think they're gonna let that happen. I don't know. That's just me, Joseph. I don't know.
All right, let's get to the NFC championship. We're
Yeah,
gonna play the
Niners.
Niners, and
Yeah,
I'm a Niner fan. All right, just kind of put that precursor out there. And this is a what if scenario. All right, for people that are clicking through here and trying to get to the good stuff. All right, this is a scenario where the Niners would lose to the Bears, and the Bears make it to the Super Bowl. What happens to the Niners? What happens to the Bears? First off, Uberflus is getting a contract extension off the rip. That man is going to probably be one of the highest
yeah.
paid coaches in the NFL, right? But let's get to the Niners side, though. What happens to the Niners? Because Brock Purdy, is he the guy? Debo Samuels, do we need to get rid of him? Ayuk, we got to pay him. We got to keep him. Kittle, he's getting old. Do we keep him? Do we get rid of him? Trent Williams, does he stay? Does he retire? Does he get extended? I mean, there's Kyle Shanahan. He can never get past the big games. You can't beat these.
See what I'm saying?
The question is going to be Kyle Shanahan can never beat these great quarterbacks. These quarterbacks that can do it all. He tried to find Trey Lance and he tried to find Mahomes and all these guys in Trey Lance. He couldn't. He failed. Brock Purdy magically fell through his hands in the 7th round. And now we come to a point where we're at square one once again, and you can't beat this guy. What happened to the Niners team? And listen, these are crazy scenarios. I'm not saying this is actually going to happen. These are crazy scenarios, but these are talking points for the offseason, which we love to talk about.
It just this is so ridiculous. Like, but I mean, I think the fans would want Shanahan gone. But Shanahan, if you pay attention, Shanahan doesn't get the blame. He always finds somebody to blame. So he'll pick up somebody. I don't know if he'll throw Purdy under the bus, but he might throw Debo. He might say we lost because of Debo. So Debo might be the scapegoat. One of their defensive players But it won't be Shanahan. He'll be safe. They'll pass the buck to someone else.
Nick
Look at
Sorensen. That's the defensive coordinator for the Niners. I
yeah.
was trying to think of his name.
So they
Um,
might blame him. They'll blame somebody. That's what they do there.
so do you think? Okay, so because I kind of want to stay on this Niner topic for a second here,
Sure.
because I think that if this happens, Niners go to what it would be at this point, it would be three straight NFC championship games, right? Eagles, the Lions, and now the Bears. And you're at a point where if you're John Lynch, if you're Jed York, you're thinking like, hey, like this is three straight years we lost, and I'm tired of this feeling. Like, do we run it back one more time? Do we keep it going? And honestly, I think there's a lot of changings that happen here. Kyle Shanahan, I think he stays. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think the Niners could win two games next season, and I think Kyle Shanahan still stays. I think Kyle
Yeah.
Shanahan is there to stay. But I think there are guys that are off the hook, and their fate resides on what happens this year for the Niners, specifically with Debo Samuels and George
Okay.
Kittle, right? And those two big names to be exact, right? Because they got to pay Brock Purdy next offseason too. Well, they don't have to, but they're probably going to give him a contract extension.
No, I heard they can't pay him because of where he was drafted until the year he's
Third
up.
season, right? Third season,
For
or is it fourth season?
third.
Yeah, yeah, yes. So this would be
Fourth
after
season.
his third season. So
Well,
either or,
yeah, he would
this
have
would be
been like
this. Yeah, this is his third season after this year.
He seems like
So
he's a rookie, but I forgot he
yeah,
played.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It does feel weird,
Yeah.
but no, but I'm saying like this is all stuff that's going to be coming up. So you're thinking like, hey, like, okay, like I got Brock Purdy. Is he the guy? Is he going to get a Baker Mayfield level contract where we give him $80 million guarantee just to get him to shut up, so he can buy himself a house, so he doesn't have to live with anybody?
Get him to shut up.
Or is this guy good enough so we can give him a Justin Herbert level contract? And this is a conversation I actually wanted to have with you because I know how much you hate about these NFL contracts where you think Mahomes is separate, one and none.
Should be a tier break. Same way with every
What do
sport.
you think happens with Purdy's contract if this scenario happens? Like, do you think the Niners are gonna pay this man a boatload of money if they lose 3 years in a row to NFC Championship game?
No.
So what do you think happens? Is it a matter of just them only getting what? Let's say. So those numbers fluctuate. I'm just trying to let's see. Sorry. I'm just trying to see.
It'll be like in the middle.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I'm just reading off. So the Niners can sign him next year to an extension for 5 years, $280 million. I don't know, whatever the amount is guaranteed. But the Niners don't have to give him one, but they can. I think they will, personally.
I think that would destroy a locker room.
You think so?
I do.
All right, let's talk about let's dig this in. Why do you think that is going to destroy the locker room?
Look what happened to the Giants. And they're not even that. They don't even have as many superheroes as the Niners.
Yeah, that's true. But
Jones
Purdy has done. I mean, let's be honest. Purdy has done more than Daniel Jones. Come on, let's not compare Daniel Jones.
Yeah, because he's playing with superstars. If you're playing with the Avengers, you'd be good too.
I mean, I'm just looking at Purdy, what he did last year, and if he repeats it next year, he's probably going to be an MVP candidate.
This
right?
is my problem. This is my problem, Joseph.
Okay,
I heard when Patrick Mahomes is doing stuff.
Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to bring out. This is what I wanted to bring out.
You remember what the media told us? Let's see him do it without Travis Kelce. Let's see him do it without Tyreek Hill. Let's see him do it without, right? Of what they told us. That's what they said. Tyreek Hill's gone and he's still putting up stuff, right? So he's like, oh, he's worth the money. Okay. And then guys who got paid with him, you're like, holy crap, we messed up. And that's my problem, Joseph. That's my problem. If you pay Brock Purdy like this, why aren't this conversation the same? Let's see him without Debo. Let's see him without McCaffrey. Let's see him without Ayuk. Like, and you know me, I'm not even super high on Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
But it's just in that offense, playing with Christian McCaffrey with Kyle Shanahan's like the ultimate. Like Ricky Pearsall's gonna probably go off this year.
Yeah.
and just because of the offense, and he's a good player too. Like I'm not like
No, I
other
agree with saying.
he's a bad player, but Shanahan, elevates these guys with scheme and then the threat of handing off the ball to McCaffrey because they will hand it off to McCaffrey 30 times a day. Like it's a real threat.
So you're saying if you're saying in whatever scenario there is, that this doesn't matter. Brock Purdy will never or should never get paid as one of the highest paid players in the NFL. Like you wouldn't
No,
do it.
look at I like I'm curious. I think it's coming back to earth. The NFL people are because look at what the Broncos do with Russell Wilson. They
Yeah, I mean
paid
they
out
took
Russell
a
Wilson,
$100 million
and
cap hit.
that looks
I mean
stupid as heck
they
now.
they literally have I think like
Um,
$125 million to
look at
spend.
the Buccaneers with Mayfield last year. They gave him a short money deal, and he ended up betting on himself. It worked out really well. They went far in the playoffs, right? He had individual success and team success, and they paid him a realistic. They didn't overpay for Baker Mayfield. They paid him like average, like he's an average quarterback, like what he is. And on some days he can be a top 5 quarterback on one Sunday a year, 2 Sundays a year max. But a majority of the time he's going to be like the 10th, 12th, 15th quarterback in the NFL. And I think there's nothing wrong with those guys. I think there's nothing wrong with those guys, for the record. But the problem lies when you pay these guys like they're a top
Top level
three,
money.
and it's like no, like Josh Allen, Mahomes, like those guys are different. Even I think it's a tier break between Burrow. To be honest, I want to see Burrow without T Higgins. Now they ended up getting a beast in the draft. Well, I thought would go undrafted because of his personal stuff, off field issues.
Yeah.
They ended up taking him in the third, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they know what I know. They know what I know. They know that Burrow needs weapons.
Okay, let me do this. Let me do this because and I'm not gonna include one of these people's names because this is not even he shouldn't even be on this list.
Okay.
But these are the top 10 quarterback paid contracts. Joe Burrow, number one, 55. Justin Herbert. Let me just share my screen actually to make it easy
Yeah,
for
that'll
you to
make it
kind of follow.
easier. Share that screen.
So these are the top level contracts right here. So we got Joe Burrow, number one, 55. Herbert, 52 and a half. Lamar, 52 flat. Hurts, 51. Kyler Murray, 46. Deshaun Watson, 46. Mahomes, 46. Josh Allen, 43.
Yeah.
Zachary, you can't tell me that Purdy is not better than 5 of these quarterbacks on this list.
No, no.
You can't.
So
And
I think
that's my issue with the NFL quarterback
if you're
market.
looking
But
at
go
this
ahead.
list, you're looking at this list, Joseph. Like, what does this tell you? Like, who's
Tells me that
overpaid? Like,
tells me
no.
that
I'll do this. I'll do this. Who's underpaid? If you're looking at this list,
I would say if I'm looking at this list, Mahomes is underpaid, Josh Allen is underpaid, and I would say honestly, I'd even say Lamar Jackson
I would
underpaid.
say Lamar. Right? Those are the three. I 100% agree with you. Now let's ask a question: who's overpaid?
And that's where it gets tricky because Joe Burrow is overpaid, but
Based on
at the
this
same
list, yeah,
token, at the same token, at the same token, though, Joe Burrow has done a lot for the Bengals. You know,
100%, 100%.
so
But he's not. But
he's his.
he's not the best player in the NFL. Not the best
I
quarterback.
agree. I agree. I agree. Well, he's the
Yeah,
highest paid player in the NFL per year on an
why he's
annual
underpaid.
basis. On an annual basis.
Why he's overpaid.
Um, yeah, and this is my issue with the NFL as well. Like the whole, and
Yeah,
we'll get
no,
back to
correct.
the Caleb Williams scenario in a second,
Oh,
but
sorry.
no, we'll get back to that. But I kind of want to stay on here. So go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I was just saying, like, Murray, Watson, like those guys. They're not. I'm not saying these guys are even bad. Like Burrow, these guys aren't bad, but I do wish, and unfortunately, it's not like that in the sport of football, and I think that's what causes trouble for franchises. Um, when they put these like lofty expectations that get baked into a contract that you have. Like the Cardinals are like when they paid Kyler, like that's a whole bunch of money. And people are looking at it like that's a whole bunch of money, man. Like you got to live up to this. Now you're a top 5 quarterback based off what you're paid. Can he be a top 5 quarterback? I think for him, it's not like Purdy, who's like, I think Purdy can do it 2, 3 Sundays a year.
Yeah.
I think Murray can do it 5, 6 Sundays a year. So yeah, he's a little better. I understand that. But like for me, it's just sometimes you do get a bad contract. Deshaun Watson's one of them. Daniel Jones is another one. Russell Wilson. Like these guys exist because these are not amazing guys, but they get paid like they are super amazing on every Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I think I
If
agree.
Caleb runs, if Caleb goes swing at Caleb, if he goes to the Super Bowl, like I think that's another reason, Joseph. You're looking, you're like, dude, I'm overpaying for Stafford when I can get me a
And I got
Caleb.
another guy.
I
So,
like
and this brings us back to Caleb Williams
or
because
Purdy.
because I do want to continue this conversation. But even back to Purdy, kind of finalizing Purdy. I think we both think that Purdy's a great quarterback. Is he at the Mahomes level? No. Is he at the Josh Allen level? No. In terms of talent, I
Which
would
group
put him more. I would put him more on the Joe
do
Burrow
tiers?
tier. Like I
Like
put Joe Burrow and Purdy in the same tier. Like if we're talking
I,
tiers,
I'm audience, I'm not with him. In the comments, I'm not with him. I can't. No,
I'm just talking off of just what they've done. They've both lost in the Super Bowl. They both gone to two championship conferences. So when you look at it, just what they've done, and obviously the talent is there too. Like all pro running back, all pro receivers, all pro offensive linemen. No, I mean Bro doesn't have any all pro offensive linemen, but uh, you know, you know, uh, Purdy does. So when you look at it like from that angle, that's where I'm just like, tier wise, okay, so what tier do you put Purdy on? And we'll get back to the Caleb Williams topic. I know that's where people came, but what tier do you put Purdy in? Because this is important to this whole what if scenario conclusion.
yeah. So I think like you have tier one, right? Patrick Mahomes. I think he's in a class of his own. Tier two, I think now you have Josh Allen. If you want to throw Burrow in there, I'm all for it. I think Allen's in his own. And then third, I think now we have a group of people. I think in that group, I do think you throw Jalen Hurts. I know his years was down last year, but I think he was injured. I think he's going to show people this year he's much better than I think he's going to go back to year one that we are familiar with him, right? And I think Burrow's in that list. Um, who else is probably in that list? Lamar. I think Lamar's in that list, right? I don't. Anyone else I'm thinking of? I might be forgetting someone, but I think that's the list. I think that's
I
tier
think
three.
I think we had this conversation last year. I think you put Dak in that list too, by the way.
I think Dak's in that next crop, and I think
Okay.
in the next crop you have Dak. I think Kirk. Honestly, I throw Kirk in there. Stafford, and I think this is where Purdy ends up. I think Mayfield is in this. I think this is where a majority of the quarterbacks are.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree there.
They can move up
I'm
some
gonna
weeks,
disagree there.
but I think, and they can move down too. They can play bad. They can
I'm
play
gonna
really,
disagree there.
bad, but I think for the majority, they're in that little range.
I'm gonna disagree there because we've seen
I mean,
Purdy do a lot of stuff in this league that Baker Mayfield hasn't.
we've seen Baker
Mm.
play a top football.
Have we
Top
seen Baker
quarterback.
in a Super Bowl? Have we seen Baker in a conference championship game? No, we haven't. And I
Yeah,
don't care about what the team.
put Baker on the 49ers.
They win 8 games. They go 8-9. Maybe they go 8-9. They go 8-9.
You're not even
All
serious.
right, let's go back to the Caleb Williams conversation because this is why people
Let's do it.
came. Thank you for making it to the final part of this scenario because this is gonna make Zachary the maddest. What if the Caleb Williams Chicago Bears defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl and they stop Mahomes from getting his three-peat and Caleb Williams outplays Mahomes and the Bears win the Super Bowl? What happens to the Chiefs? What happens?
Me as a fan, I say we force Andy Reid to retire. I think there's nothing you can do, Andy Reid. You've done it. You've done it all. Honestly, I think Kelsey too. Take Kelsey away too. Go off with Taylor Swift and sing your life away. I think it's time to blow it up and start all the way over because we can't beat a rookie quarterback and a trash head coach. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is where this.
This is a scenario that can't happen. Listen, the
Yeah,
Steelers did this with Big Ben. So this scenario has happened before in the
go look at that.
past.
Go look at that roster.
I mean, okay. The roster
Go
was
look at that
amazing. The,
roster.
the defense was amazing. Shout out to Troy Polamalu. Shout
Go
out to
look at that
James
roster.
Harrison. Shout out to all these Hall of Famers on that roster. Hall of
Yeah,
Fame coach too. So
this
Jerome
guy.
Bettis. Listen,
Guy.
listen, listen, listen.
Hines Ward.
Steeler
Like,
Nation, do not get at me. The Heath Miller.
uh,
I know about your
Paneka.
team.
Paneka was on the offensive line. I think that's how you
Oh
pronounce
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Like, dude,
remember.
this guy, he's
So
tripping.
Okay. So, but back to the Bears beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. As crazy as it sounds, Chicago Bear Nation, you guys love this hearing this because you guys are pumped up about this season. I think if this happens, we got to talk about it, which is what you don't want to talk about, which we talked about this year. But Mahomes proved me wrong. Has Mahomes became a game manager, and has Mahomes not fulfilled what he has shown us in the past? This is my thing with Mahomes, and this brings up a conversation that I've been wanting to have. I just haven't had it, haven't had the chance. My thing with Mahomes is this: he does the stuff that is good enough to win the games. He
Mhm.
manages games really well. He's turned into Alex Smith, which is not a bad thing because he's got him 2 Super Bowls in a row. But when he needs to put a Superman cape on, he does put the Superman cape on. But I feel like this season, it's going to bite him in the butt. And this is why the Chiefs have been getting all these guys who are explosive, who can stretch the field, who can bring the ball down. And so Mahomes doesn't have to be a game manager anymore. Because I know the Chiefs know that this game manager Mahomes guy is not going to be successful for too long because the league's going to figure him out.
If you say so, man. I honestly I can't get behind that at all. Like not at all. Not at all. I think they brought in the speed because they were missing some deep throws last year because there just wasn't a deep threat that they could rely on. Uh, yeah. So, and to prolong Kelsey, I think Kelsey's going to eat now. Rasheed Rice when he comes back from the suspension. Um, I anticipate him getting suspended. I think everyone does.
Yeah, they're saying half a season.
So yeah, if it's half a season, when he comes back, he's gonna have life easier. The run game is gonna be better. Pacheco, like it's like I think you're talking a hypothetical that can happen, but I don't think it's like really likely.
For
So
the Bears, I mean, Zachary, there. I mean, if you look at it just from just an odds perspective, the odds are not high for the Bears to make the Super Bowl. Like I don't know the Vegas odds, but I probably say they have maybe 12, 15 best odds to make the Super Bowl. But there are scenarios where this can't happen. And I think in the right circumstances, it can happen. Because I think the Bears, listen, I don't know how the Bears offense is gonna look, but if they look, if hear me out first, hear me out first. If they look how if they look how the if they look how like an Aaron Rodgers style type of offense, kind of Luke Getzey, Green Bay offense, Mike McCarthy offense. If they look like that, I could see them being a team that is going to win a lot of games this year. I just can't see it. I can see it. I can see this. So with that being said, you have winning a lot of games, you have talent on your team, and oh yeah, you have momentum, and you have trust in a quarterback that's not Justin Fields. That gets you 4 wins. Just gets you wins, just 4 wins, just off the rip. Like before you even step into the stadium, you get a win just because you have trust and confidence in your quarterback. You just do. Same thing with the Chiefs. That off Zachary, you cannot tell me that was a Super Bowl roster last year.
you
You
know
you
what?
you cannot tell me that.
You
But
know what
what
we should
got
do?
them to
You know what we should do?
no
No.
no.
You just talk. You just talking to a topic I want to do. I want to do because it's gonna be the off season, and we're not gonna do this today, of course. Let's do put out all the NFL teams and let's talk through just quarterback alone how many wins we project for him. Okay,
Okay.
and then we'll see how many Caleb gets from both of
Okay.
us. But I think
Yeah,
that'd be a
we should do that
comment.
before the schedule comes out. I
Yeah,
mean, either way, it doesn't matter. But I want to get back to my point because I think I bring up a good point here that I kind of want to hear your opinion on.
go ahead.
Can you answer me this? Was this Chiefs team a suit talent wise? This talent wise, was this team their best roster constructed over the past 5 seasons?
No, no, I think this is their worst.
Okay. So what got them to the Super Bowl and what got them to win the Super Bowl? Like what
One
got
five,
these? Okay, let's say 1-5. It was 1-5.
but
Patrick
one
Mahomes
five in
finished voting
his
them.
what sixth year, right?
But what if Mahomes? But what
I
if
don't
Caleb
think
Williams
I don't think Patrick
is
Mahomes' rookie year was doing this.
so? So if you got to stick with me here, because I want to get this point across. What I'm saying is trust in your quarterback is important, and it gives you confidence. Like Willie Gay is gonna go somewhere else and play. He's not gonna be the same player he was in Kansas City that he is wherever he plays at now. Willie Snead going to Tennessee Titans to play, get paid big money. He's not going to be the same player. And obviously, a lot of it comes with scheme, but a lot of it comes with you being able to, hey, like I'm going to do the extra press bump, take these extra chances on these routes, take these, take a guess that says, hey, the quarterback's going to throw the ball before he even throws it, and try to buy on it. And if I get scored on, we got Patrick Mahomes, number 15,
You're
to
comparing
to get us to a
comparing
topic.
Patrick Mahomes in the middle of his career
I am.
in his
I am.
prime to a rookie quarterback.
I am.
Like we
Because
saw, we just look, just
Zach, we have not seen a prospect like Caleb Williams enter the league. We have never seen a guy like this. We just haven't.
like by like, so you think he's a better prospect? Well, I mean, screw a prospect. You think he's gonna have a better year than CJ Stroud last year, who just had the greatest rookie season we've ever seen?
Do I think? Uh, I mean, that makes it so they would go to the second round, win it, and then go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
On
that'll be a
a
better,
scale of 1 to 10,
yeah,
how
better.
likely do I okay, realistically speaking, how likely do I see that happening on a scale of 1 to 10? I say 3 out of 10. Like I say 3 out of 10. But in a perfect world where this does happen, I could there is a scenario out there. There is a what if scenario out there. Shout out to my MCU people. There's a scenario out there where Caleb Williams does make it that far and does go to the Super Bowl and does knock out Mahomes and does
Yeah,
become the
you
face
know
of
what
the
it's called?
NFL. He knocks off Mahomes as the face of the NFL.
You know what it's called?
What's it
You're
called?
describing a cold day in hell.
Cold day in hell. Wow.
That's what you're describing.
Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. Cold day in hell. I'm writing that one down. Cold day in hell.
That's what you're describing.
Wow. That's probably gonna be the name of the episode. That's a good comeback right there. All right, so I guess what I'm saying is this, because I kind of want to bring, because the reason why I'm bringing this scenario up is because Mahomes has no challenger right now. And I just watched the movie Challenger, yes, our Challenger, whatever the movie was called, was in day, and it was a cheesy romantic rom com. It wasn't even a comedy; it was a cheesy romantic movie. I do not recommend it for in theater. Like, don't save your $10 or $11, whatever the tickets cost for matinee. Um, but I'm trying to find a challenger, and that's the reason why I brought up Caleb Williams, because I feel like he can be a challenger to Mahomes. But obviously, they're in two different conferences. They're not going to play each other this year, most likely. So my scenario base is based on if these current quarterbacks can't beat Mahomes, they can't stop him. Who can? And this is where it gets to for you kind of gotta pull back out of your cheese bias suit, right? And I'm glad you don't have the Andy Reid background on. Thank
I
you.
was going to put it on.
But I need you to look at it from a perspective of who can knock out Mahomes. And it doesn't have to be Caleb Williams, by the way. It doesn't have to be Caleb Williams. It can be anybody. But my question to you is if there is a challenger to challenge Mahomes as like takes him off that tier one or like even gets on that tier one with them, who is it? Like
Josh
who's
Allen.
the Anthony Edwards
Josh
to
Allen.
Caleb Williams? I mean to
Josh,
Mahomes.
Josh Allen. He's the only one.
I don't think that's true. I just don't.
He was
And,
literally
and this is me being
every year. If you
and I
look at the
hate it.
playoff, if you look at the playoff games, every year Josh Allen, it's Mahomes, and it's like he's really close to beating him. And I know really close is like still a
It's not
loss.
enough. Yeah.
And Burrow's the guy who actually beat him, but the Burrow situation, I honestly think the Chiefs' ego led to that defeat more than I think Burrow won the game. Like that's just me in my opinion. Um, but I think Josh Allen, I think Mahomes has to do Mahomes knows he has to bring his best to go against that guy. I don't think he like like has that versus anyone else. I like if you watch the games, man, watch the games. You'll see he'll try
I
to
just feel like
He
especially
played.
this year
Seems
with
more
the
focused.
removal of Diggs. And let's talk about Allen for a second.
Where they blew up Joseph.
We're gonna see. We're
You
gonna
don't
see
see
this
Mahomes
year
blow
though.
up. You don't see Mahomes blow up like much. But who did he blow up against? They
I
played the
mean, I
Bills.
mean,
Like
we're
that's
gonna
a
see
good
this year.
yeah, man.
We're gonna see this year how good Josh Allen is.
Oh
Because
yeah,
he has no Diggs. I mean, he has two great tight ends like with Dawson Knox and Dawson Kinyer, and then they have Arkenye. Then they have the rookie Coleman coming in. Then they have Shakir coming in. Fan of the pod. Well, hopefully he is. I don't know if you're a subscriber, but hopefully you are a fan of the pod here. Um, James Cook at running back. Just trying to think of the roster, and I'm just trying to think like this roster is kind of depleted here. Like, and that's with respect to every single player that's on that roster. But their team is just not as good as it was in the past, and it's mainly because of the contract situation with Josh Allen. Obviously,
it's a rebuild year.
it's a rebuild year, pretty much.
But when you have Josh Allen, your
But
rebuild year, not it's a high volume like rebuild year. You're gonna get an MVP performance out of this guy.
is this going to be MVP type performance though? Is it? Is it?
He's always gonna have his name up there because they're like
But
you're talking like they're a 4 or 5 win team, and
no,
he's
no,
gonna
no,
get
no, no, no.
11 wins, 12 wins.
They're a. I would say my guess for them, and this is too soon prediction, but I would say my guess for them is to win around 8 to 10 games.
Yeah,
That's my prediction.
they're gonna win 11 or
I
12.
I don't, but that was where they're at last year. They were at that 8 to 10 until like the final 3 weeks or five. No, like final 6 weeks. They went like 5-0 or 6-0, or like the last like or it was crazy. They had won like their like last like 6 or 7 games, something crazy, or like 5 out of 7 games.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I I and this is where I stem from because I want to bring Caleb Owens back into the conversation. I don't think I think at this point we've seen all the guys go at Mahomes. It's kind of like that Mortal Kombat type of thing where you know are like Tekken where like you just have gone through everybody to beat the top guy and you can't beat him. And there's a new guy that comes out of nowhere and he just takes the league, takes the the ring by storm, and he just beats everybody, all the guys that nobody thought everybody was going to take over the league, and he just becomes a new face of the league, and he's that guy. And Caleb Williams can be that person because I think there needs to be a new challenger of the NFL. It just does. And call me crazy. Shout out to Carly Rae Jepsen, whatever her name is. Um, the Call Me Crazy song. Come on, man. This is
call me.
crazy. Call me maybe. There we go. That's the song. Anyways, I think there are Caleb Williams is that guy. I just do, and I want to preface this. This is a what if scenario. Like, hey, what if Caleb Williams makes it to the Super Bowl? This is
He's
not a prediction. I'm not predicting that the Bears make it to the Super
how
Bowl.
come you
Okay,
didn't draft?
people.
How come you didn't draft him in fantasy today? You passed on him.
I did, and the reason being is I was stuck between talent and needs, and I chose the talent over the needs. Because I rather have listen, I have Amon St. Brown, I have Justin Jefferson, and now I have Neighbors
Marvin
and
Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. So I could have all the top 5 receivers that are in the game, like all on one team. Like legit. Like one, two, three, four. Like
But you
crazy.
could have had the great if Caleb pulls this off,
This is a
you have
what
the
if scenario.
greatest quarterback ever.
I pass up on yeah. And I'm not okay if that happens. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But hey, listen, we said it here. The Bears, listen, this is a move we're going back to roll earth now. But kind of just talking about the Bears, kind of summing it up. But the Bears have made their fan base really excited. Like I talked to a lot of people that are in the Chicago area. Like they're ecstatic right now. Like legit ecstatic. Like they are like super happy about this. They're like, you know what, we're gonna win a division. We're gonna take the division back from Aaron Rodgers, from the Packers. All this stuff is going through there from the Lions, whatever the case may be. And I just hope and pray for Caleb Williams that this doesn't fall flat on his face and he becomes another Bears draft bust. Like he doesn't like I don't want him to become a Rex Grossman. You know?
I don't think he will, but I mean, I also don't think he's the greatest thing since sliced
Since
bread.
sliced bread,
He's somewhere in the middle, man.
thanks.
He'll be a fine player, but let's not anoint this guy too early. Because if we if he does this, Joseph, I feel bad for the rest of his career because we're gonna expect him to win a Super Bowl every year, just like Mahomes,
I
the Super
mean,
Bowl every year.
that's we're doing the same thing. I
He didn't
mean,
even do this to Brady. That's the
it,
crazy. Brady's the greatest we've ever seen, and we didn't even say, "Hey, you got to win Super Bowl or bust every year." Like that. Like that's
but
the
we do it to Mahomes though.
yeah. That's this is it's crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, we do it to LeBron James. We don't do it to
Ron's
Jokic.
another one. Yeah. How do
we,
we do it to
we
Jokic? Do we?
no, no, no. That's what I'm saying. We don't do it to Jokic. I'm kind of making
Yeah.
the comparison to like NBA
Yeah.
now versus
LeBron, I
like
feel like
past.
he
It was.
LeBron,
I mean, but to LeBron's credit, he was going to the conference championship game and the finals game every year. It seemed
yeah, 10 straight,
like
whatever it
yeah,
was.
like he owned the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel as if we're gonna get to a time and place where there's gonna be a guy that has to take over this throne, Mahomes, because
Yeah.
Mahomes is owning the league right now.
Archie
He
Manning.
is it Archie? I don't
He
know,
did 3
man,
years.
but we got Archie got some time. We got what's it 2025, 2026 draft? Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be Archie, but we got some time, man.
No, but in all seriousness, we'll see. Hopefully, it happens. I think it'll be fun to have a. I think the NFL should be happy, Joseph, because the NFC finally got one of these guys. Because the AFC's been eating them all up. Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Stroud.
I mean, even back to Brady.
Like, yeah, back to Brady and Manning. Like,
Manning,
so,
yeah.
right, Rivers. Like these guys were all really great in the AFC. So hopefully the NFC
Andrew
can.
Luck, yeah. I mean, don't forget about Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck,
So,
yeah,
like all these guys that are top prospects, QB pies go to the NFC.
trade part.
I mean AFC. So we've seen like NFC get a handful of guys, but no one with the hype of Caleb Williams. And I've been quoted as saying that Caleb Williams.
Him,
I mean, Cam Newton actually, and he actually did live up to expectations
yeah, and they were
for about
trash.
7, 8 seasons.
They're
For about
trash.
7, 8 seasons. Yeah, they were. So to your point, this is not going to come easy. Any other topics you want to talk about today? Or are we good?
Now we wrap up.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like always, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you all. And oh wait, just one last thing. Who do you have winning the Drake versus Kendrick beef? I just want to ask you before we get off. In here.
Drake. You
Oh,
need.
okay.
I'll pick my background for the next call.
Okay. All right, guys. Team Drake. I'm Team Kendrick. But please, like I said, like, subscribe,
Hey,
and thanks for
question?
tuning in.
What do you have more in your library? Drake or Kendrick?
Well, I mean, I think Drake
Crazy,
is on more songs, but
crazy. Oh man,
yeah.
yeah. You want to pull your list up for like 2023 and like 2020?
I actually I can't I can't
Oh, you can't
the way my
find it.
account's set up is that doesn't let me.
I hear you.
All right, guys. Until next time. See you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, subscribe and like.